Before you sit down to set your goals for 2021, watch this video because there are 4 words you need to hear to stop you from making a huge mistake. Hey friends, 2020 is over, and with 2021 fast approaching on the horizon, you might find your thoughts are beginning to percolate and flick through the sediments of your mind to wrestle and find the new goals and intentions for the upcoming year. Maybe, like me, you did some stuff well in 2020 despite the pandemic. You did your home workouts, you stayed as focused and productive as you could. But beneath all that, there's still a layer of dis-ease. You can't help but think about the things that you want to change, the things that you want to become, the things that you want to improve, and you hope that the next year is going to be better. Contrary to what everyone else is probably telling you, there are 4 very simple words that I'm going to repeat in this video that I want you to remember for the entirety of 2021. It's something that I want you to not only say to yourself, but to the people around you so that collectively we can embrace a new kind of normal. So repeat after me. The 4 words I want you to all hear and hold dear are this: have an average year. Not a great one, not an improved one, not a life-changing one, but an average one. Now you might be wondering, why not aim for creating your best life like the self-help gurus prescribe? Why not go 10x? Won't this encourage complacency if I just aim for average? Is that enough? Well, my logic and reasoning for this is nothing complicated, fancy, or groundbreaking. It's simply a change of perspective. See, for too long, we've been inundated with messages in our culture about how we're not enough, how we don't have the best body because we aren't following the best workout program, or we don't have the best diet, how we don't have the best jobs because we don't work hard enough or smart enough, how we don't have the best productivity because we aren't following the best morning routine. See, all of these ideas and messages, they compound to tell us that where we are is not enough. Happiness, success, prosperity, fulfillment, they all lie elsewhere. And by proxy, who and how we are, that's not enough. My routine might be good, but it's not as productive as Ali Abdaal. My views might be great, but it's not as prolific as Jay Shetty, etc., etc., etc. So how does aiming for average help? Well, to understand this, we're going to take a look together at the work of Lyndon Duke, a professor who studied something called the linguistics of suicide. After receiving a doctorate from not just one, but 2 separate universities, Duke had begun analyzing suicide notes to look for linguistic clues that could be used to predict and prevent suicidal behavior in teenagers. In his research, he came across the work of Dr. Abraham Lowe, a contemporary of Jung and Adler, who had developed his own somewhat controversial form of psychotherapy in the 1930s. Lowe worked with his patients to recognize that whatever unique skills or talents they might have, they were essentially human beings just like everyone else, dealing with the same problems in the best way that they knew how. He called this the average person approach to life and contrasted it continually with what he called the curse of exceptionality. This need that we all feel to be exceptional and to be admired, a curse that has only got worse in the last 10 years. In today's social media world, the posts that garner the most likes and attention tend to be the ones that are the most exceptional. And over time, 2 things then happen. First off is that most people fail to reach this high point of exceptionality, because if too many people are exceptional, it becomes too common. And secondly, we create an availability bias of what success looks like. We mistakenly believe that we all need to be like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk to be successful entrepreneurs or business people, when in reality, for every successful tech billionaire like these, there's hundreds of thousands of people aspiring to be just like them, but are in this kind of middle bracket of income, influence, and mastery. And as a result, this curse of exceptionality, instead of enjoying the modicum of average success they might have, which is all relative, maybe they're employing 1 or 2 people, they're growing their companies by 10 to 15% a year, they still feel like failures because they never reach those exceptional heights. Now apply this to your own life. How many times have you made some small but significant progress, but then felt like it's not good enough when measured against the incredible gains that someone else has made online or offline? But here's the thing, for every Matt Diavella, there are countless others making videos that don't even get 10% of his views. For every Mr. Beast, there are thousands of copycats. I'm sure you've seen them. Maybe they're making better videos, but they're not getting the views that he has. And maybe one day they will, but maybe they won't. And this curse of exceptionality, it robs you of a key thing that is the most important quality that we all need. And to explain it, I want to tell you a simple but powerful story. A couple of years ago, I was working and volunteering in Mathare in Nairobi, Kenya. You see, I'd gone there to help a group of young people living in extreme poverty, to help them build entrepreneurship skills to create a better future for themselves. After a long day of running workshops with them, my team and I were getting on a matatu on the way home. And along the way, I noticed a street seller who was selling this strange fruit that I'd never seen before. So I picked it up, I had a look at it, examined it, and then as I reached into my pocket, I realized I didn't have any cash to buy it. So I put it back and walked away and thought nothing of it. A couple of minutes later, as I took my seat on the bus, one of the boys who'd been in my workshop, he started tapping on the window, motioning for me to open it. And so I did, and then through the gap, he handed me the fruit, grinning from ear to ear as he gave it to me. He had seen me looking at this fruit from the distance and then saw me put it back because I had no money, and so decided to buy it for me using the very small allowance that he had. Without being asked or anyone telling him to, he just did this tiny little thing. Now, to be honest, I can't remember what the fruit was, and it wasn't as tasty as it looked, but what I realized in that moment was something I want you to remember as well, that anyone, anywhere can take pleasure in the small things in life. You don't need to do anything at all exceptional. It doesn't always have to be something that makes the history books. We can take great satisfaction from the simple pleasures of an average life. One of the main ways I like to apply this principle in my life is just to remind myself that it's okay. Like, I don't need to always or ever be exceptional. Who I am and where I am, that's enough. And I can take happiness and joy in the simple pleasures, things like washing the dishes, sitting with a cup of warm tea at the end of the day, or anything like that, and making those things the actions and habits that fulfill my life rather than anything extraordinary. Now, sometimes when I tell my coaching clients about this, they react in crazy ways. So before you start worrying and you consign yourself to what feels like resignation and mediocrity, just chill out. What I find is that by being okay with a lot of average days and doing a lot of average work in things that I love, there's a massive upside and compound effect. For example, 10 minutes of daily piano practice isn't that much, it's average, but over time, it can produce a huge upside and you can learn quite a few new pieces. When I first introduced this average day philosophy to my clients, they sometimes do freak out, like I mentioned, because they think that they are settling for an average lifetime of successful or unsuccessful, over or underachievement. If you notice that feeling coming up for you too, I urge you to consider these questions and leave your answers down in the comments below. Are you listening to this video for insight or agreement? Is this idea one that you can benefit from? Where in your life have you felt the pressure to be exceptional, and how does that make you react? What would constitute an average year for you, or an average day where things aren't exceptionally good or exceptionally bad? And what does that mean for you? Now, before I go on to the most important section of this video, I want to say a special thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. It's a great place for you to explore new skills, deepen your existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Now, since I am trying to up my video production game over the last year, watch out Matt Diavella, recently I've been taking part in a Skillshare class called Mastering Cinematic Compositions in Video and Film. I always want to improve how professional my content is and just make it better for all of you. And this has been a great class that goes over things like the rule of thirds, depth of fields, focal points, all that kind of technical stuff that I didn't know before, also that I can create better videos for all of you. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes like this, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. It's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, and the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of their premium membership so you can explore your creativity. If you're still looking for a great one-of-a-kind, definitely consider getting your loved ones a Skillshare premium membership as well, and feel free to share the link down in the description. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you're wondering how do I actually prepare for 2021 and set some average goals for a meaning-rich year, keep an eye out for the next video that I'm about to upload. It's going to be all about my 2020 in review and how I like to prepare for the new year using a rear view reflection technique that I invented. So make sure you subscribe and you turn the bell notifications on so you know when that comes out. And if you're watching this video a bit later on, I'll leave a link over here. Otherwise, stay safe and be average, my friends. Peace.